Ferrari's 2026 car had barely touched the track, and something already felt wrong. A brand new era, new regulations, a clean reset, and yet, within hours of its first appearance, the SF26 was filmed sitting completely motionless on track. No smoke, no obvious damage, just silence. Ferrari personnel running toward it. Social media is exploding, and one unavoidable question forming in everyone's mind. Is this really how Ferrari's 2026 era begins? Because this wasn't just any shakedown. This was Lewis Hamilton's first public run in Ferrari's most important car in over a decade. The machine designed to end a championship drought that has haunted Maranello for years. The car meant to carry Hamilton toward an unprecedented 8th world title. And instead of dominance, the first images fans saw were uncertainty. Before we go any further, if you want no-nonsense, deep-dive Formula One stories like this throughout the 2026 season, make sure you're subscribed, because what Ferrari just revealed goes far deeper than one stopped car. Hamilton was given the honor of the SF26's maiden run at Ferrari's private Fiorano circuit. Damp conditions, limited mileage, controlled environment, everything exactly as Ferrari would want it. At first, the run looked routine. The car rolled out, the systems were checked, the new era officially began. Then the footage surfaced, the SF26 stationary, engineers jogging across the track, the car being escorted slowly back to the garage. Ferrari later insisted it wasn't a failure, just procedural limits. But context matters, and Ferrari's recent history makes moments like this impossible to ignore.
This comes after a brutal 2025 season. 0 wins, no podiums for Hamilton, Ferrari slipping to 4th in the constructors' standings, a campaign so poor it forced internal restructuring. Hamilton, for the first time in his career, went an entire season without standing on the podium. That's the backdrop against which this test unfolded. So when fans reacted strongly, it wasn't panic, it was memory. And Ferrari's preparation for 2026 hasn't exactly inspired confidence either. Reports suggest the SF26's chassis approval came at the 11th hour. The car was allegedly only fully assembled the day before its reveal. Meanwhile, Mercedes rolled out their W17 and immediately completed near maximum mileage without visible issues. When margins are this tight, optics matter, and Ferrari's optics weren't good. But here's where the story gets interesting, because the SF26 isn't conservative, it's aggressive, purposefully different, and in some areas, genuinely bold. Ferrari have described the SF26 as a complete architectural reset, not an evolution, not a refinement, a ground-up rethink designed solely around the 2026 regulations. The bodywork is cleaner, tighter, built with ruthless weight reduction in mind. Ferrari even ditched 7 seasons of matte paint, returning to a glossy finish to save crucial grams. In a regulation set where weight limits are brutally restrictive, every detail counts. Then there's the suspension, one of the most talked about elements of the car. Ferrari have committed to pushrod suspension at both the front and rear. The last time Ferrari ran a pushrod rear suspension was 2011. Most rivals went in different directions, but Ferrari believe this configuration offers the best long-term development window. This isn't about immediate lap time, it's about adaptability, something Ferrari have historically struggled with under stable regulations. Under the engine cover sits another potential gamble. Ferrari are believed to have pioneered the use of steel alloy cylinder heads rather than aluminum. Steel can tolerate higher temperatures and pressures, potentially allowing more aggressive combustion strategies, more power, more efficiency, but also more risk. Early whispers pointed to reliability concerns Ferrari insist have already been resolved. Testing exists for this exact reason, but again, perception matters. And while Ferrari were dealing with early scrutiny, something else was happening elsewhere in the paddock, something that quietly raised alarm bells. Mercedes. Calm, composed, confidence.
What makes this contrast so striking is how differently the two teams have approached the 2026 reset behind closed doors. Mercedes treated this regulation change like a long-term engineering project, locking down their core concepts early and refining them relentlessly. Ferrari, on the other hand, appeared to be chasing performance windows right up until the final moments. That difference shows not just in reliability, but in philosophy. Mercedes prioritized stability first, then performance. Ferrari chased performance first, accepting risk as the cost of ambition. And that ambition is everywhere in the SF26. Engineers in the paddock have quietly suggested Ferrari simulations pointed toward a very narrow optimal operating window, meaning the car can be extremely fast when everything aligns, but unforgiving when it doesn't. That would explain the aggressive floor geometry, the compact rear packaging, and the unusually tight cooling layout. These are not the choices of a team playing defense. These are the choices of a team trying to leapfrog the field. But history warns us what happens when Ferrari build cars that live on the edge. When balance shifts suddenly, when conditions change, when development stalls, those high-risk designs become liabilities. That's why the first days of testing are so crucial. Ferrari don't just need lap time, they need correlation. Wind tunnel matching track data, simulations matching reality. Because if those numbers don't align now, the season can unravel very quickly. This is also where Hamilton's feedback becomes invaluable. Few drivers in history can feel aerodynamic instability earlier than Lewis Hamilton. His ability to sense micro changes in rear grip, braking confidence, and power deployment could determine whether Ferrari refine this concept into a championship contender or spend another year chasing fixes that never fully arrive.
Footage from testing revealed something remarkable. Onboard shots showed the Mercedes front wing effectively changing profile on the straights, active aerodynamics working seamlessly. The front wing appeared to flatten, dramatically reducing drag. This wasn't theoretical, it was visible. And moments later, similar features were spotted on Ferrari's SF26 floor, a possible loophole, a reinterpretation of airflow management under the new rules. Whether legal brilliance or regulation gray area, one thing is clear: Ferrari are not playing it safe. The floor itself is another area where Ferrari have gone aggressive. Compared to Mercedes, the SF26 features more pronounced floor elements and flow control fins, especially toward the rear. Ferrari are clearly targeting stability and rear grip under acceleration, crucial under the new power delivery rules. But aggressive floors are notoriously sensitive. They generate performance until they don't, and when they fail suddenly. All of this places enormous pressure on Lewis Hamilton. At 41 years old, he's entering what he's called the most complex regulation change of his career. The cars behave differently, the power delivery is different, the aerodynamics work differently. Even the driving style required is different. And he's doing this inside a team still trying to redefine itself.
Ferrari have already acknowledged changes were needed. Hamilton's race engineer, Riccardo Adami, has been reassigned after a partnership that simply didn't work. A new voice will be in Hamilton's ear, another variable, another adjustment, another test of adaptability. Then there's Charles Leclerc, Ferrari's reference point, their most consistent performer. Even he couldn't extract results from the SF25, and he's made it clear his long-term future depends on Ferrari delivering a car capable of winning. The SF26 isn't just a reset for Ferrari, it's a crossroads. The looming Barcelona test will be the real reckoning. 5 days, 3 days of running per team, every constructor on track, no hiding, no controlled optics. If Ferrari's aggressive concepts work, they'll emerge as genuine contenders. If reliability issues persist, the narrative will spiral fast. And the engine controversy only adds fuel to the fire. Mercedes and Red Bull are rumored to have found a creative interpretation of compression ratio regulations, unlocking a meaningful power advantage. Ferrari, Honda, and Audi have pushed the FIA for clarification. no immediate changes were made. If that advantage is real, Ferrari's chassis performance must compensate. There is no margin for error. The world is watching, and Ferrari's next move may decide far more than they realize.